Good evening everyone. So, yung report ko is continuation siya ng report ni Abel, which is yung stages ng output process. So, pang third stage na tong bursting. So, bursting, when output reports are removed from the printer, they go to the bursting stage to have their pages separated and collected. So, dito sa bursting, ito nga yung pangatlong stage na ginagawa natin sa output process. So, nabanggit kanina ni Abel yung first two stages, which is una yung output spooling. So, sabi niya kanina magkakaroon ng separate storage yung mga file na ipiprint. So, para daw hindi malito yung printer and to avoid cause ng delay or bottleneck. Then, second stage is ipiprint ng computer operator and i-remove sa printer. Then, next, ito yung bursting. So, third stage na the bursting. So, dito sa bursting ang ginagawa is sineseparate yung mga na-print, sineseparate yung sheets. So, i-collect and i-arrange yung mga pages. So, dito sa bursting, specifically, ang bursting clerk yung gumagawa nung pag-separate ng mga reports by page. Or, if there is a case na sensitive yung mga reports, end user yung gumagawa. So, si bursting clerk, pwede siya magkaroon ng sariling copy ng report without authorization. At the same time, pwede din niyang i-remove yung mga pages which may contain sensitive information. So now, saan napupunta yung mga tinatanggal na pages? So, kung babalikan natin yung figure 7.12, ayan, the stages in output process. So, from here sa bursting, so, yung mga tinatapon na reports, which is called the aborted outputs, is mapupunta sa waste. Ayan, so next tayo sa waste, which is the fourth stage. So, computer output waste represents a potential exposure. It is important to dispose of aborted reports and the carbon copies from multi-part removed during bursting properly. So, ayan nga, katulad ng sinabi ko sa waste, doon na pupunta lahat ng aborted reports na tinatanggal ni bursting clerk. So, sabi, waste represents a potential exposure. Why? Kasi yung mga pages na tinapon, it may contain sensitive informations such as passwords, which is pwedeng gamitin ng kung sino man makakita nung page na yon, and they can use it para ma-access yung data files ng mga firms. So, sabi dyan, the only way na ma-avoid yung situation na yon is to pass it through a data shredder. So, yung mga tinapon daw na reports na mapupunta sa waste is will be passed through a data shredder. So, data shredder is nakadesign siya para ma-totally remove yung mga files sa waste and hindi na pwedeng i-recover. So, the fifth stage, we have data control. In some organizations, data control group is responsible for verifying the accuracy of computer output before it is distributed to the user. So, dito sa figure 7.12, so after, 'di ba, nilagay na natin sa waste yung mga aborted files. So, yung mga natirang reports naman na hindi tinapon is yun yung re-reviewin ng data control clerk. So, nire-review nila, dinodouble check yung mga collected data, syempre for correctness. So, sila din yung nagmamanage ng distribution ng reports and other output sa mga users. So, if may case naman, normally kapag sensitive reports, hindi na siya dumadaan sa data control clerk, diretso na siya sa end user. So, katulad sa bursting, pag may sensitive report, pag may sensitive reports na si end user agad yung naghahawak. So, after reviewing the data, proceed na tayo sa report distribution. The primary risk associated with report distribution includes reports being lost, stolen, or misdirected in transit to the user. So, after nga ma-check ng data control clerk, yung mga reports galing sa bursting clerk, so next job niya is i-distribute na yung reports sa mga users. So, actually lahat naman ng stage sa output process is may risk na mawala, manakaw, makorrupt, ganun. So, for highly sensitive reports, the following distribution techniques can be used. So, to avoid daw na mangyari yung mga risk na yon, so ito yung pwede nilang gawin. First, the reports may be placed in a secure mailbox to which only the user has the key. Second, the user may be required to appear in person at the distribution center and sign for the reports. And pwede ring a security officer or special courier may deliver to the user. So, last stage, we have the end user controls. So, sa end user, once in the hand of the user, output reports should be re-examined for any errors that may have evaded the data control clerk's review. So, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, si end user yung nag-ahawak ng reports regarding sensitive informations kasi most likely kasi sila yung may mas magandang sila yung may mas nakaka-identify ng mga subtle errors na maybe hindi nakita ni data control clerk. So, kung may mahanap na errors, yung mga errors na na-detect ng end user is i-report sa appropriated computer services management. So, once done na lahat sa pag-process ng mga reports, so if okay na, na-finalize na, nadaanan na lahat ng stages, i-store na siya ngayon sa secure location within retention period. So, kung gaano katagal kailangan itago yung information, and kapag na-expire na yung retention period, meaning time to dispose na yung mga information kasi hindi na siya, it's no longer needed. So, ayun, since sensitive yung mga informations, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, ang ginagawa nga sa mga itatapon na files is it will be passed through a data shredder. So, yun. So, next topic na tayo, it is the controlling real-time system outputs. So, dito sa controlling real-time system outputs, ito yung time span para makomplete natin yung stages sa pag-conduct ng output process, yung sa kanina. So, kung gaano katagal or gaano kabilis, ma-process natin yung file. The primary threat in real-time output is the interception, disruption, distraction, or corruption of the output message as it passes along the communication link. So, sabi na papatagal daw yung process kapag may, interception, disruption, distraction, or corruption. So, yun tulad ng sabi ko kanina, lahat naman ng stages sa output process is may risk na involved. The threat comes from two types of exposure. So, makakuha daw natin yung threat. First, from equipment failure, and second, from exposure from subversive acts. Subversive acts meaning may parang nabasa ko meron siyang computer criminal na nag-i-interrupt or pumipigas sa pag-process ng file. Ayun. So, next topic, we have the testing computer application system controls. This section examines several techniques for auditing computer applications. So, i-examine daw yung mga techniques na ginagamit sa pag-audit ng computer applications. Control testing techniques provide information about the accuracy and completeness of testing process. So, meron tayong dalawang approach sa pag-test ng mga techniques na ginagamit natin sa pag-audit ng computer applications, which is the black box approach and white box approach. So, yung white box approach, i-explain siya ng next reporter. So, dito muna tayo sa black box approach. So, black box approach, Auditors testing do not rely on a detailed knowledge of the application's internal logic. Instead, they seek to understand the fundamental characteristics of the application by analyzing flowcharts and interviewing knowledgeable personnel in the client's organization. So, dito sa black box approach is, yung mga auditor, wala silang knowledge sa internal system nung application na itetest nila. Wala silang depth understanding. Unlike kasi sa white box, yun kasi yung pinagkaiba nila. Yung white box kasi may depth understanding yung auditor sa internal system ng application. Dito kasi sa black box wala. Ang alam lang ng auditor is kung paano nagfa-function yung mismong application. So, nagbe-base sila dun sa input na nilalagay sa application and yung output na pinoproduce ng app. Without knowing kung paano yung mismong process, hindi nila alam kung paano yung procedure, kung paano nagawa ng application yung output na nalabas. So, ayun. Nagbe-base sila sa input transactions and sa output. So, tinetest lang nila yung functionality ng applications as a whole na hindi na kailangang i-remove yung internal structures. So, ang nabasa kong advantages nito is flexibility kasi hindi kailangan ng tester or ng auditor na magkaroon ng depth understanding or knowledge sa internal system ng application. Yun lang, all they need is basic knowledge, basic information, kung ano yung nilalabas ng application, kung ano yung output niya, ayun. So, ayun yung tinitest nila. Mainly sa function. Tapos, ginagamit din daw to sa mainly ng mga large entities. Kasi parang konti lang yung process na nagagamitin and it's not time consuming. Compare mo sa white box approach. So, ayun. And next reporter would tackle about the white box approach. So, yun lang yung report ko. And thank you.